Welcome back to Fast Market here on the Schwab Network. It's time for our cash tag segment. Let's bring in Megan Brantley. She's the Vice President of Research at LikeFolio. Welcome back to the show, Megan.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to all the Amazon investors over the last couple of years here. We've had a nice run, Megan. Do you guys have the data that backs us up? Because I always look at this company as twofold, right? You got the big retail side of the business has a really low margins, and then you've got the cloud side of the business that is all their profitability, basically, and both seem to be doing pretty well. Does your data back it up?
Yeah, whenever we look at Amazon, those are the two areas that we really have insight into, because that's what consumers are talking about the most when they talk about Amazon. And if we want to dive into the cloud segment first, what we see here is Amazon has massive consumer mind share. Whenever we look at Amazon versus other major providers like Google's cloud services and Microsoft's Azure, Amazon is commanding about 47% of those consumer mentions. So from a mind share perspective, this is the name to beat. I think one thing that is interesting, though, as you can see on this chart, this is the consumer happiness levels for all of those different peers that I talked about. And you can see Azure's doing really well. And a lot of that has to do with its OpenAI partnership and integrations. And so this is one potential area where we see a little bit of market share still underway from Microsoft, but still at large, Amazon remains the leader, at least in our data. And then if we shift over to the retail side, we actually see Amazon doing really well here. We see some major improvements when we look at consumer happiness levels for Amazon versus other major retailers. This is in the upper level with Costco versus, the Walmart and the Target at the bottom. And I know all of these have slightly different retail models versus e-commerce versus, bulk retailer versus just regular retailers that you might go stop out at your way home from work. But it's really important because these are the four that in our world consumers are talking about the most when they're talking about making purchases. And to see Amazon kind of elevating itself, I think speaks to its services, especially its Prime services, that it's been able to really improve, because for a while Amazon was struggling. We saw some delivery and logistics hurdles that the company needed to clear, and now we're seeing signs that it's not only cleared those hurdles, but people are talking about, oh my goodness, I got my package even faster than I expected. I think that really, if you look at this chart, perhaps the bigger story is you see Walmart and Target now neck and neck, so that may be a conversation for another day, but on the retail front, we see Amazon performing really well.
Yeah. Megan, when you look at this company, and they've had a good run, and it seems like their history is they spend, and then they kind of stop spending and let the profits flow in. It looks like they're doing that now, but they're still spending on cloud infrastructure. They're still investing in their grocery subscription business, so that part is going. So they compete. What's the best comparison for them? I don't know if it's Costco, because Costco doesn't have AWS. Is it like, and Microsoft doesn't have groceries and shopping. What's the best company to compare them to? Or can you, frankly? Maybe you got to piecemeal it out.
Yeah, I think that you really do have to piecemeal it out, because, you could even throw some other names like a Netflix in for a comparison with the way that Amazon has been leveraging its Prime Video services. I think that's a major theme that we're watching unfold right now. You mentioned the grocery delivery, and that's something that Amazon is doing really well, is it's taking its Prime subscription and it's creating these add-ons. So, okay, now you have the Prime subscription, but for $9 a month, you can get unlimited grocery delivery services. And for $3 extra a month, now you don't have to pay for ads. And so it's finding these ways to kind of increase its value proposition to consumer and increase also that consumer spend. Well, then, a consumer says, okay, if I'm paying for it, I might as well use it. So increasing that consumer engagement. So that's something that we definitely see working well. We see those Amazon Prime subscription mentions, those are climbing. So I think that these add-ons that they're doing and these kind of refinements of the different services that they offer alongside its Prime subscription, that's working really well for Amazon, at least at the current moment.
Yeah, I think we can't overlook the fact that Digital advertising raked in $47 billion in annualized revenue last year.
They just make money other places.
That's going to continue to grow, help fund maybe the purchases of those NVIDIA chips that they're buying hand over fist at this point. But Megan, I look at the stock price. I look at the movement. We're up 20% year to date, up 45% from year ago levels. Are you guys still bullish? If they had earnings tomorrow, would you guys still be bullish on this one going into that report?
You know, it's a tough one to gauge just because there are so many different areas that you could dive into Amazon. Where I would say we are cautiously watching growing competition in its cloud sector, but on the retail sector, it's performing really well. We see continued strength here, continued strength in advertising as well. So I think it would depend on what sector you think is going to drive earnings. If you think that it's retail, then yes, our data is certainly supporting a more bullish outlook, maybe a little bit less bullish on the cloud front just because of that rising competition. But we also see this as a major macro trend that's kind of lifting a lot of boats. So definitely room for potential growth there. And, you know, it's tough to bet against Amazon right here.
Yeah, definitely. Had a good run. All right, great stuff. As always, Megan, have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right, that's Megan Brantley, Vice President of Research at LikeFolio, breaking down Amazon. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, Kevin, because, you know, they have gotten their AWS in the cloud space.
Leader,
their
31%.
lead